episode of Little Lessons with Miss Liz. Let's start our lesson off the right way, okay? Good day, students.
Good day, Miss Liz!
I'm so glad you guys joined us again. So, you probably noticed that it's been 2 weeks since our last Little Lessons with Miss Liz episode. That's because the summer is super busy, and we aren't going to be able to do a little lesson with Miss Liz every week. So we're going to be doing them every other week for the rest of the summer. So you guys can tune in 2 more weeks for another little episode of Little Lessons with Miss Liz. Anyway, I'm excited about our lesson today. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the biggest troublemakers in our world today. You want to guess what it is? Go ahead, shout out your ideas. Those are some good ideas. No, I'm not talking about the coronavirus, and I'm not talking about your pestery little sister. I'm not even talking about celery farmers.
Those are real troublemakers.
But no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the tongue. Yes, the humble tongue and the way it's used to say all sorts of bad things is one of the biggest sources of trouble and pain and misunderstanding in the known universe. You don't believe me? Okay.
That's all right.
Why don't you listen to what the Bible has to say about the tongue in James chapter 3. I'm going to open it up and read it for you. Okay. So James says this about the tongue. Okay. The tongue is a very small part of the body, but it makes all sorts of great boasts. Consider that a great forest can be set on fire by a little spark. Well, the tongue is also a fire, a whole world of evil among all the different parts of the body. It corrupts the whole person. It sets the whole course of his life on fire and is itself set on fire by hell. Now, hold on a second. My tongue has never been on fire, but boy, it sounds like the tongue can cause all sorts of trouble. It says here that all kinds of animals and creatures of the sea can be tamed, and they have been tamed by people, but nobody can tame the tongue. It's a restless evil full of deadly poison. Yikes. I mean, it sounds like we have to be really careful about how we use our words, that what we do with our mouths is really important to God, and maybe we don't always do a very good job of it. You know, I've got some friends here with me today who are going to help me illustrate what I'm talking about, why it's so important how we tame our tongue. Okay guys, so I've got my friends here. I've got some Stivers kids, and I've got their cousins, the Sloan kids. Can you all wave and say hi?
Hi.
Okay, they're going to help me do a little demonstration on what it's like when we use our words in a way that's hurtful instead of a way that's kind. So you'll notice here I've got this heart. So this heart is going to kind of represent the heart of a person. And every time we say something mean or nasty, we have these really pokey golf tees. And they're going to represent the mean, nasty words that might get said. So my example, something that maybe I heard somebody say, or maybe you guys have said to somebody before, or you've heard somebody say. Okay, when I was in elementary school, I had a crush on a boy. And one of my friends walked over to him while we were in the library. And she goes, "Hey, did you know Liz has a crush on you?" And instead of being like, "Oh, you know what he did?" He looked at me and he went, "Ew." And it hurt my feelings so bad. It was like, I got to push this really hard. It was like I got stabbed in the heart. It hurt. So now the kids are all going to share something that they've heard that was mean, or they've said that was mean, or something. And so then they're going to poke their little things in. Okay, Amara, why don't you start?
You're stupid.
You got to push it hard. There you go. Okay, Addie.
You're trying to act cool.
Ooh, you're trying to act so cool, but you're not really cool. Okay, Riley.
You're so annoying.
I think I've heard that one a lot of times. Okay, Ren.
You're such a crybaby.
You're such a crybaby. Ooh, it stabbed right in the heart. Okay, Brogan.
Your outfit looks so ugly today.
Oh, that's so mean. Your outfit looks ugly. Okay, Lincoln, what have you heard that was mean?
I hate you, loser.
I hate you, loser. Oh, that's so awful. Now, look at this poor heart. This heart has all sorts of ouchies in it now from all the nasty things that have been said. So you guys know, after you have made the mistake of saying something mean, maybe you call your sister a stupid head, or maybe you tell her you don't like her, you don't want to be her friend anymore, or you make fun of somebody in class. What are you supposed to do, guys?
Be nice.
Apologize. Be nice instead, right? So now the kids are going to apologize, and they're going to pull the golf tee back out of the heart, okay? So everybody say, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have.
I'm sorry, you're not stupid. I'm sorry.
Okay, now pull your,
bad.
you can come around too, Riley. Pull the ouchie out. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay, and mine, I didn't mean to say, ooh, you're not really gross. Okay, now we apologized. We said we were sorry, but guys, look at the heart. What's wrong with the heart? It's still filled with little ouchies because, guys, you can't unsay a word, can you? Somebody can't unhear something nasty that you say. So even if you go back later and you say, I am so sorry, I shouldn't have said that thing, that wasn't very nice of me, it still leaves a little mark on their heart, right? That's why we have to be so careful with what we say, because those words have power. All right, guys, thank you.
Bye.
Oh, you guys, this poor heart. I mean, even after the kids apologized, you can see that it's got all sorts of little holes left from those nasty words and where they left their mark. You can't unsay words, and sometimes words leave permanent marks on people that can hurt them for a long time. Words stick with people. They can be used as weapons. I mean, that's why God wants us to take it so seriously, the way we use our mouths to talk to other people. You know, every single one of us has used our words in a bad way. And it's something that most of us are going to have to work on for the rest of our lives. I mean, I know I still have to work on it. It's really important that we learn how to control what comes out of our mouths. And here's why. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Okay, when you use nasty words and say mean things, discouraging things, unkind things, we're not sharing God's message at that point. No. See, God wants us to share words of hope and love, of correction and instruction, of kindness and caring. But there's someone else working here in the world who wants us to spread his message. And his message is just the opposite. His message is one of anger and hate and bitterness and cruelty and separation. You want to guess who that other person is at work? It's Satan, right? He's the one who's kind of behind all those nasty words. He's the one who tempts us and who encourages us to say the nasty, bitter, mean things. So when you use your mouth to say those sorts of things, it's kind of like you're doing his job for him. You're spreading his message instead of God's. And we definitely don't want to do that, do we? I mean, I certainly hope not. So how can we make sure that we're taming our troublemaking tongues and using them the way that God wants us to? See, I'm so glad the Bible is full of handy instructions to help us do just that. Let me give you some examples. Okay, in 1 Thessalonians 5:11, it says that we are supposed to encourage one another and build each other up. So maybe building each other up would be pointing out the good things somebody does, or encouraging somebody when you really see them trying hard, even if they don't get stuff right all the time. In Ephesians 4:32, it says we should be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, has forgiven you. We need to be kind and tender-hearted, forgive people when they mess up. In Colossians 4, it tells us to make sure that our conversation is always full of grace. Okay, always sharing the gracious, kind, good things of the world and of God. But I think that maybe the best one is Psalm 19, verse 14. It says this, "May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing in your sight, O Lord, my rock and my salvation." For me, that's a really good test to make sure I'm using my words the right way. I ask myself, would I say that right in front of Jesus? Would I say that thing to that person if Jesus was standing right behind me and looking over my shoulder? And if the answer is no, if the answer is, oh no, I'd be embarrassed to say that, or I'd feel really guilty if I said that and I knew Jesus was watching, then I probably should not be saying those words. I shouldn't be saying those to anybody if I wouldn't say them in front of Jesus. So my challenge for you guys this week, this month, the rest of your lives, is to stop and think about the stuff coming out of your mouth. Are they the kind of things that encourage and build up, that correct and instruct, that show grace and kindness, or are they messages of anger and bitterness and unkindness and cruelty? Would they pass the test of, would you say that in front of Jesus? And I think that will help us all. If we all stop and think about that, I think that will help us all tame our tongues and help start using our mouths in the way God wants us to. So I hope you guys learned something and had a little fun today. If you liked this lesson, I would encourage you to comment in the comments on Facebook and to share, to like this message and to share it with some friends so that we can keep the word going. And I hope you guys will join us in 2 weeks when we have another Little Lessons with Miss Liz. Bye, guys.